Hey, what's up, beloveds? Family. So, Holy Spirit was just telling me something, right? Letting me in on a little something, right? Giving me a little insight, right? And of course, it made all of the sense. I was actually asking something in my head, right? And of course, he answered. I was asking why is it so hard to a come by somebody that's genuine to the extent that I am, right? That matches me, right? Or you. Okay. Amongst other questions. And the Holy Spirit said to me, the same way and in the same ways that you are special, the person that you are supposed to be with for the rest of your life also has to be special in those ways, right? And in a world that's lacking love, right? Like true, real love, right? Untainted love, right? In a world that's lacking that, like mostly lacking that, right? It's hard to find that, right? Or let me say, not find. It's hard to come by that. It's hard to come by, right? That's why you don't go looking for love, right? You don't go looking for things because it's led to you, right? It's like you draw it in. You don't go looking for it. When you go looking for it, you find all of the wrong things, right? 2, 3, 4 on my time of confirmation, right? So let me lay the groundwork first. So the other day I was talking about in the Bible when Jacob wrestled with the angel, right? Now, remember I was talking about the part where and the Holy Spirit opened my eyes to this. Remember I was talking about the part where the angel Jacob wouldn't let go of the angel, right, until he blessed him, right? And wrestled the angel until the sun came up, right? Now I'm being told to say, remember God's mercies are new every morning, right? His mercies are new every morning. And so the angel touched Jacob's thigh, right? Came out of socket, right? From that day on, Jacob had a lamp. He walked with a certain lamp, right? If you he probably walked with a stick. He probably did, right? As like a cane or something, right? Because they used things as canes back then. 3, 4, 5 on timer, and which can represent, right? It does represent a new walk, right? Being changed in a way that you were never going to be as you used to be, right? Maturing, okay? Enlightenment, okay? You see how it can mean all of these things, right? And it also means disease, right? Ailments, lifelong things that you or that are going to be with you until your dying day, right? And this is represented in many stories in the Bible, right? Another one that's represented in the same way as I'm speaking it is Job, right? Remember, Job was afflicted with everything that he could be afflicted with. 444 on my timer. Thank you for the confirmation. Job was afflicted with every possible thing that a person could be inflicted with, right? Without dying from it. Okay? without dying from it. Okay? And remember when Job had boils all over his body? Remember that, right? That represents disease, right? Permanent disease, right? And it was something that he had to live with, right? For the rest of his life. Okay? Um, but whatever that was, right? Because it could have been, I'm pretty sure it's something that is alive and well today, right? In the world that we live in, right? Um, that could have been any number of diseases, right? That they didn't have the same name for that we have for today. Do you get what I'm saying? So boils back then on a person could have been syphilis, right? It could have been syphilis. It could have been any number of things, right? It could have been, but they called it something else, right? And according to the degree of seriousness of that said thing, right? Um, Anybody else, it would have killed them, right? The disease would have killed them, okay? Because people that had that type of disease back then, like boils all over the body, and I forgot what they called it, but boils was a word they used for it. They would usually die from it, right? Eventually, it would they would succumb to it, right? But when you are touched by God, right, that doesn't happen, right? You're preserved, you're kept, right? Remember, God told the enemy, you can do anything to them, right? Even take their kids, but you can't touch their life. Their life belongs to me. You can't take them out of this world, right? And he did everything possible except that. And Job lived through it, right? He weathered the storm or storms that came through it, right? Any horrible thing that could have happened to him, it happened to him. And he lived through it, right? Now back to the hollow of Jacob's thigh. That's just another representation for the same thing I just told you, right? Job dealing with disease, right? And everything else. I say all that to say, chosen ones, right? People that have been chosen by God, right? We're chosen by God for his son, for his son, right? God chose us for his son. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? We were already chosen for him. Okay? And we wear a mark that no one else wears, right? Just like God's name in our foreheads, right? We wear and carry a mark that everyone else in this world does not wear and does not carry, right? That mark is us being touched by God, right? Being touched by God means, yes, you are blessed with every physical and spiritual blessing, absolutely, right? But just as well as being blessed with those things, right? You are also blessed to walk through basically hell and come out the other side. You know what I'm saying? Meaning you will experience, right? Chosen ones, people have been touched by God, right? Just like Jacob, just like Job. You will go through the worst possible things in life, situations in life, and you will live through them, right? And you might carry something, somewhat of a souvenir, right? Doesn't mean that it's wanted, right? But you might carry certain souvenirs from the things that you've been through, okay? And the caliber of person that is supposed to walk beside you for the rest of your life, that who is supposed to build with you, right? Be in partnership with you, will be touched by God in the same way. Okay? It takes a special kind of person. Well, yeah, it takes a special kind of person, right? To love all of somebody, right? That means no matter what the person's dealing with, no matter what souvenirs the person may be carrying with them from their past, right? Things that were maybe their fault and maybe weren't their fault, right? Doesn't matter. The the person that is meant to love you, right? Undyingly, has to have certain qualities, certain traits, certain experiences to be able to love you in the proper way, right? Walk with you in the proper way, right? Where other people would shy away from you, right? Or run away from you because of something, right? Maybe I don't know. Just I don't even want to give examples for it, but whatever it may be, right? That would send the average person running away, right? Or they might like you or have feelings for you in the beginning, and then when they find out more about you or some of the things that you've been through, right? It changes their mind, right? About loving you, or it changes their mind about how they feel for you, right? Then that's not your person, right? Your person is going to love you no matter what you've been through, no matter what you're carrying from what you've been through, right? They're going to love you regardless. They're going to, let's use me as an example, right? You guys know I'm undetectable, right? So the person that's going to love me is that's not going to be a factor for them, right? It's not going to change their mind about me, right? It's not going to stop them from loving me, right? It's not going to scare them away, right? It is going to cause them to get informed about that said thing, right? Get more knowledgeable about it, right? To be fully informed, right? They're going to ask, okay, so what do we have to do to, make sure that we're both all right, right? What do we have to do to, they're going to try to find a solution to whatever it is, right? As long as it means they get to be with you, right? Through and through. That is the caliber of person that is meant for you, right? The average person would flee, right? The average person would make assumptions, okay, that aren't true. The average person would not think in a way that says, okay, what can we do together to fight this? What can we do together to overcome this? What can we do to get through this, right? The average person would be elementary in their thinking, right? Elementary in their intellect, okay? And you are not an average person, okay? You're not an average person, okay? You need a thinker just like you are. You need an intellectual just like you are, okay? You need a lover just like you are, okay? Somebody that searches for solutions, who is not scared off by what's the word? A challenge, or not challenge, who's not scared off by obstacles. Obstacles, right? Because obstacles are made, right, to overcome, to be overcame, right? You just have to find the way to overcome it. There's always a way. There's always a loophole, right? You just have to. It's a matter of kings to search out a thing, right? Back to that. So as you get to know a person, right? As you get deeper in your relationship, as you get stronger in your relationship, right? Form a bond, right? Then you know if you're safe or not to open up more in a certain type of way, right? To them. Because I learned this. You don't want to overload a person when you first meet them, right? With what you've been through and all the things that happened to you in your life. You don't want to overload a person with your life story, right? You want to let that person get to know you first, right? For you. You want to get to know them for them, right? And then gradually, right? You can reveal things, right? Gradually you can open yourself up more, expressing who you are more, right? And more in depth. You can do that over a certain period of time, right? Because I've learned this myself. Letting a person know everything about you up front, right? It doesn't give that person a chance to form a bond with you. It doesn't give them a chance to grow into loving you, right? It kind of steps in the way of that. It steps in the way of that. And it blocks off who you really are, right? All it shows is what you've been through, and maybe debilitating factors, right? That may seem insurmountable, right? But they're not. But it puts up the picture that they are, right? Because you haven't given this person a chance to know you. You haven't given this person a chance to be like, wow, like, I really like this person. Like, I may love this person, right? And no matter what this person can tell me, right, it will not shy me away or turn me away from how I feel about this person and what I want to have with this person. No matter what this person can tell me, right, we can deal with it together, period. No matter what this person tells me, we can deal with it together. I don't care what it is, right? And a person cannot come to that conclusion or come to that sort of climax, right? If everything is just tossed on them in the beginning. You get what I'm saying? It's like eclipsing the sun, right? You don't see all of the brightness and the warmth and the love, right, that comes from the sun. You don't see that when it's being eclipsed by the moon. Do you get what I'm saying? You don't see it. It's dark, right? But when the moon moves out of the way, there is the sun and all its splendor and beauty and majesty, right? There it is. Like, wow. And it feeds you, it gives you energy, it gives you vitality, it gives you everything that you need to grow, right? And you wouldn't be able to see that or experience that if the sun was eclipsed by the moon, right? I hope that 1919, that was okay. Thank you. Letting me know that that was a perfect example. So, in closing, right? Those of you that are worried about revealing something to a person of interest, right? Um, some of you are thinking maybe they won't like me so much, anymore, or maybe this will shy them away from wanting to get to know me more, or because somebody's afraid that something will stand in the way of somebody they love or somebody loving them, right? If this person's meant for you, like truly meant for you, right? They'll love you anyway. Okay? They'll love you anyway, right? And all the way. 2034 on my timer. Okay, they'll love you anyway and all the way, right? Whatever it is, if this is their true person, it's not going to stop them. It's not. If this is your person, they'll try to find a way around that, right? Or to get through that. That'll be the thought that comes into their mind, not run away. Okay? So, don't try not to worry yourself, you know? Um, I have a video still uploading. It's taking like 2 days to upload because it's like an hour and something long. It's like the longest video I've ever recorded, right? But in this video, you guys are going to witness a spiritual growth, right? A type of spiritual ascension that I've been going through, especially after that other video that I posted the other day when I wasn't feeling so hot, right? That was me going through a transformation, right? And you will see that transformation when this video uploads. Okay. We talk about, you know how we've talked about diamonds coming from coals, right? And pressure, right? How something can be one way and it can totally transform into something that is just unbelievable, right? Like how, you know? This is what happened, right? This is what was happening from that pressure, right? From that bubbling up to the surface, something was birthed out of that. Confirmation 2222 on my seeing that lets me know that I'm hitting it on the nose. Thank you. And you'll see that in the video, right? In that video, you will see me speaking or acting as a vessel, and my passed over loved ones speaking to me, right? And through me, and confirming that it is them, confirming what I'm saying is them speaking through me, and that it is true what I'm saying. And they confirm it after every time I say it. 2304 on my phone, just like they just did. You will see that in this video, right? Basically, proving wrong sayings that have been going in the world for forever, right? This video is going to prove those things to be wrong. 2334. It's going to prove those things to be wrong, right? Like being able to hear from your passed over loved ones. 2345. Confirmation. Did you see? The world tells you and is real superstitious and real just all type of things, and tells you these things and makes you feel this way to make you feel like it's not true, to make you feel like it's bad, right? It to make you feel all type of ways that are not true, right? That are not true. Nobody can tell me that my grandfather and my grandfather are not around me all of the time, giving me insight, 24/24 on the timer, right? Protecting me, warning me, hey, of certain directions. Hey, do you don't want to go that way? Go this way, right? Nudging me. Nobody can tell me that because I know it to be true. I know it to be true. So I don't need confirmation from others. I have it from God. That's why I cannot care about what other people think or other people say, because I know differently. And if I know differently, then it doesn't matter what's coming from the outside, right? It doesn't matter, right? So you'll see that in that video, right? And at one point in the video, it was at the end. You can see this the switch, right? Because I went from talking to you guys, then it's like my grandma had something to say, right? And this shocked me just as much as it probably will shock some people that, or it'll shock my family that views it, right? Because my grandmother stepped forward and she had a lot to say to my family, my I call ex family members. She had a lot to say to them, addressing them, and she used me to do it. And I was just as surprised that that happened when it was happening, right? But I went along with it, right? And it was amazing. It was dope. Like I did not expect it, right? But that was a part of what came with the level of spiritual ascension that I went through, right? I went through a transformation, a major one. Like that pain that I was going through, that despair and just everything that was happening, it transformed me and took me to another higher level, right? Where I was able to hear my grandma and my grandpa talking to me in a way much more of a clear communication, right? It wasn't so hard to be able to hear them or feel them, right? It was much easier, right? So much so that it shocked me, right? Um, but you'll be able to understand more when you see it. It's still uploading, right? It's taking forever, but it's like 58% done. But yeah. So whatever you're worried about, try not to worry about it. Okay. Uh, God knows what He's doing. Your angelic team, right? Spiritual guys, whatever you want to call them, they know what they're doing. They know how. They know who's right for you, right? They know how to lead them to you, and they know that they're going to be right for you, right? It's just things that you don't know that make you worry, right? Outcomes that you don't know the ending to that make you worry, right? Don't worry, okay? There is somebody out there that's going to love you and love all of you, no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what ailment you're dealing with, no matter what sickness you may have to carry for the rest of your life, no matter what mental health issue you get what I'm saying? They're going to love all of you. And more than likely, they're going to be dealing with something of a certain caliber themselves, right? Because they're going to be special in that kind of way, right? They're going to be touched by God in that kind of way as well, right? 28, 28 on the timer. They're going to be touched in that type of way, right? To where it might not be the same thing that you're dealing with, but it's something else that they're dealing with that worries them, right? In the same way it worries you, right? Like, oh, maybe this person won't want to deal with me no more. Or maybe this, maybe this might scare them away. It won't. This person's going to be built just as tough as you're built. Okay. So I love you guys. We love you. I'm going to leave it there. All right. And I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.